education is our fundamental rights. But if you come from, I call it label community, the way I was, undocumented, can't speak English, justice involved, and so many more. If you don't know how to exercise your rights, what's the point of having the rights? So I always say this proudly. Getting education is not only your fundamental rights, but it's your job. But when you go to job, what happens? You get paid. That's the conversation for today. That school that pays students to come to school because they are working. And that's not just the concept at Ideal Institute of Technology. We've been doing it for the last 10 years. Problem statement is that in America, we spend over $1 trillion a year on a welfare program. And I always say this, that welfare, the system was built to help people, to catch them from falling the crack. But then it became that way that it's scaring people. You do a little bit good, we're going to take this away. You do a little bit good, we're going to take this away. So people are afraid to do good. That's where the new way forward of Ideal Institute of Technology comes in a picture. I started as a at-risk youth program and work with so many different nonprofit, for-profit, school districts. Everybody has an alternate way of teaching. And everybody's teaching life skill, soft skill, life skill, soft skill, job readiness, dress for success. It's like watching a motivational speech on a YouTube with biggest stars ever talking about, you gotta do this, and you're fully motivated. Yeah, I wanna change the world. Then do what? You still have to go to street corner and hustle. You still have to figure it out how you're gonna feed your family tonight. So what's the point of having that motivation? So I call it, when you're fully motivated, come to Ideal and we'll tell you what to do. Because at Ideal, you're not just learning, you're working. Think about a school system where you're not just applying to be a student, but you're doing an application for a job. Think about a classroom where you're learning, but at the same time, you're working and you're clocking your hours and you're getting paid in the field of your study. We go to the universities, we go to the colleges, all the students wanted to have an on-campus job. So I'm doing business major, I'm doing a pharmaceutical major, and I wanted to work in a library or a kitchen. That's not on-the-job training. At Ideal, we find a very unique solution that was built by the student. In 2016, my first at-risk youth program, I'm seeing all the inner city kids coming in a program, having a headphone, right? Worry about, I didn't have a breakfast today. I didn't have this today, that today. And then I'm pitching, we're gonna learn this, we're gonna learn this, without thinking what they want. So my kids taught me that we have to worry about what matters to you, that matters to me. First, pause and listen what the today's kids want, what is their need, then you serve. And our model came up where we are nonprofit school, but we never fundraise. We always work raise. Because you can put a donation and check a box that you did a good deed. But then what is your return on investment? And how many times you can keep donating? At Ideal, our students probably go and says, if you wanted to help a youth, give us a work. So I give you an example. We teach IT. We have a student-run IT company. We teach construction. We have a student-run construction company. We teach advanced manufacturing. We have a woodworking factory. We teach music and film production. We have a music studio and film production studio. And all these enterprises run by students while students making $18 to $21 an hour. So The whole idea is my kids, not a free labor. We go to the corporates, community, foundation, says, you wanted to help a kid? Give me work. We don't do free painting, free restoration. You pay the students, but now students is getting that confidence that whatever I'm learning here, it's worth this much dollar. And that's not a bare minimum dollar or a stipend. That's sustainable living wage. By the time you graduate, you don't have a debt because you're already working. So somebody goes to 4-year college. Think about if you go to 4-year college and in the first 6 months, you're having a job in the industry. By the time you graduate, you generated enough income to pay off your student loan. Nothing's free, I understand, but you provide an opportunity to kid that you're learning and earning at the same time. Now, you have a student who go out and not looking for experience resume, because biggest thing happens when you go for an interview. Where did you work? Oh, I work at Ideal Builders. While I was studying at Ideal, I have a 3-month experience, 6-month experience, 1-year experience. And they get transitioned to the workforce. Same way, we'll talk about entrepreneurship. Lots of colleges, university, from small colleges to big university, teach entrepreneurship program. The way program works is business 101, marketing 101, and go figure. Look about creating a next big thing. Think about creating fundraising, venture capital. Biggest problem in our country is if you don't have a good credit and a collateral, you cannot get a $100 loan. But you go to the school, how much you need? Unsecured, Parent Plus, this loan, that loan. Entrepreneurship program at Ideal Institute of Technology is not a next big thing. It's a next small thing, can be big in a future. So our entrepreneurship program is start your own food truck, start your own e-commerce company, start your own construction company. And your year and a half long program includes your startup cost. We had a start your own braiding salon where a student from an inner city who is doing a braiding in a basement failing to report the income, so they're not credit building and they're not loan worthy. Now they come to the school tuition includes paying for the LLC, paying for the e-commerce website, getting a startup kids to do 30 students' hair. Now, by the time they graduate with the instructor's mentorship, they are already earning $30,000 to $50,000 a year range before they graduate. So they graduate with business, profitable business in operation. Not that, okay, I learned all the way of how business works. Now I gotta go find who's gonna pay for it. Nobody pays. Nothing's free in America. My students will know this. If somebody say this is free, run. Because there's always a catch. So when you are, because that's the way we created our system. We're gonna give you a free breakfast. We're gonna give you a free lunch. We're gonna give you a free bus pass. It's not free. Somebody's paying for it. So we don't need to create a culture of entitlement that this is free, this is for you. You have to tell them the reality that this costing of teaching Title I school district, a high school, anywhere in state of New Jersey is not less than $30,000. So now cost of education is expensive, but in a kid's mind, it's free. Free has a zero value. So they don't value what they're learning. They don't hold the service provider accountable because they think it's free. Service providers getting paid. I go and tell my students, if I'm here, because I'm getting paid, and I'm getting paid well. So better make it useful. So we have a success story of a student. It takes them 2 years to get a GED. In between, she got a kid, but now she's tuition free in nursing program at Atlantic Cape Community College because New Jersey has a free community colleges. So we are that pathway, bridge. Nobody have a time to spend 4 years without earning in today's era. So we started saying, college is not for everybody. College is not for everybody. I started saying to all the colleges that if college is not for everybody, if you think that or you hear it, it's your responsibility to add that missing component so college can be for everybody. At one side, all the colleges are struggling on getting enrollment, and another side, there are so many opportunity or label youth who's trying to gain a little bit ahead in a life. So the way of ideal education is that whether you're a high school dropout, high school graduate, ready for college, or you need an in-between bridge, we pay you to come to school. You come in, choose what you like to do. It's not that, okay, our sales rep is selling one program. What matters to you matters to us. Whatever your skill set is, whatever you want to learn, that's where you get a job. And you learn and earn at the same time so you can make your family whole. And that's the ideal way of forward. America needs to invest. Think about just a couple cities that I work in. I'll give you statistics. Atlantic City spending, and this is shocking. Atlantic City spending on a welfare is $110 million a year. I just started working in Newark. Guess what Newark City's welfare spending for a year is? They have a last data from 2023, $2.1 billion. I'm like, just get the number of residents and divide and give them money. Why are you providing services? So we need to set aside a small portion to provide the colleges, universities, vocational school that bandwidth so they can create a social enterprises, student-run enterprises, and pay students to come to school. And that's my mission of a life. We're in a process of getting a trade university where every single student's part of some kind of a job, some kind of a manufacturing industry, and we pay them to come to school. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you.